Welcome to PMU Unveiled. I'm Layla Hinchin and I'm your podcast host. I am the creator of the PMU Circle, an online membership there to bring confidence and education to artists around the world. I've also run my multiple six-figure clinic and training academy for many years, and I am here to bring you unfiltered PMU talk. Let's scrap those false pretenses and the image of perfection that surround our industry. We want to keep it real, we want to educate and of course inspire you. Together, we're going to challenge the norm and shed some light on the realities of being a permanent makeup artist. If you're ready to dive deep and join us, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's get going. Okay, good morning guys. So today we are joined by the fabulous SJ. SJ, you've got about 20 years experience in the industry.
Yes, I've been saying 20 years for quite a few years.
So probably a little bit more.
Yeah, a bit more, over 20 years, let's say.
And SJ is now a beauty coach, an award-winning beauty coach. And I just had to get you on here because I love you. I love how real you are, how open you are, how honest you are. And that is what this whole channel is all about. So I mean, what better guest to be the first guest on this podcast?
Thank you very much.
Do you want to just tell our listeners just a little bit about you and then we'll dive in?
Yeah, definitely. So my name's SJ Hartshorn, and like Layla said, been in the beauty industry for over 20 years, permanent makeup trained and skin aesthetic trained for probably about 12, 13 years. And the beauty coaching for me was almost an accident. And it was an accident based on realizing that we rely so much on time for money exchange, and after having babies and operations and looking at my accounts and everything else, it kind of made me rethink a lot of things. And then we had the big COVID that hit, which then made me really knuckle down and think, right, now I need to look at this as a business and not just about me creating nice eyebrows. So I did it for my business. And then what happened is everyone was like, how the hell are you earning money? And how the hell are you creating an extra business, I've got 3 businesses now. How are you doing this when you haven't got your clients coming in? So that's what then just led me down the beauty coaching. So yeah, I beauty coach, I do mentorship, I do one-to-ones, I've got so many different kind of brackets. And then because that wasn't enough, I manufactured my own makeup range as well.
Just like me, you don't know when to stop.
I think it's just the true entrepreneur in us, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, where my values really lie is that I do think the mold is ready to be broken with beauty entrepreneurs, and I do think that I wish I had somebody like me and you, all these podcasts 10 years ago to basically tell me the true reality of it, and also to tell me that I'm chasing the wrong thing, because I think me and you both have chased the wrong thing for many years, realized when we kind of knocking on 40 that, whoa, okay, wait a minute, this is not the way it should have gone. So obviously your podcast and my podcast as well, I've got my own podcast, is kind of educating people of the true reality and, of the beauty industry, and that we can have a scalable, profitable business that has longevity, and it's not just a side hustle, and it's not just a time for money exchange, and that's what I'm all about.
Yeah, amazing. And I think that's when you start in the industry as an artist, you literally do feel that you have no option but to do those 10-12 hour days back to back, client, and you end up literally running yourself in the ground. And I feel like when I speak to so many other people, it's when you hit that point that then you think there's got to be something else I can be doing with this business. So I think it's really nice that you're getting the word out there early, so that hopefully artists don't have to reach that point of burnout.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, remember what you was like and what I was like years ago. We're stubborn. We don't want to listen. We don't want to listen. And somebody telling me all this 10 years ago, yes, I wish it was available, but I actually don't think I would have listened. But I just wish that I would have just not been a real stubborn entrepreneur and just thought, no, I don't know everything. Let's listen to these people. So hopefully we can kind of get people to listen and share all our mistakes.
And just save yourself loads and loads of years of grafting.
Definitely.
Running yourself into the ground. So today we're going to kind of touch on like the myths of running and scaling a business, and like what we was talking about, like that smoke and mirror of social media, and how people look at you from the outside and think like, wow, she's smashing it and she must have such a great, easy life. When actually we're all still in the same boat.
Yeah, definitely.
We still get stressed. We still work stupid hours.
Yeah. And I think social media has a huge part to play, you know, and I was in preparation for this podcast that I was thinking about, obviously a lot of people that are watching this are going to listen to this are going to be in the PMU industry. And I still do treatments. I do 1.5 days a week, and my clients won't let me stop. And I had a client in yesterday, bless her, she comes all the way from Ireland. I'm in Doncaster, South Yorkshire. She comes from Ireland via Leeds, you know, to come and see me. And she has the worst skin in the world. Like, you know, these people where you just touch them with a needle and it bruised and shit, and I would never share that photo, never in a million years. I know it's going to heal beautifully, but, and this is the thing as well, all the images you see, all these artists that share all their work, they will have these clients whose skin is just horrid to treat, and we never share bad. You know, we never share the bad, we never share the hard clients, we never share the hard days. And all these new artists coming into the industry, they don't see this. They just see this a technician who they put on a pedestal because of all their amazing work. They don't share the mess ups that these people have had, or the awkward clients that they've had, or the hard skins and the oily skins and the lack of retention. They don't share any of that. So then you then start giving yourself a lot of self-doubt and start thinking, why don't I get the result? Why am I not as good as this? Then you become a course junkie, and then you start doing every single course out there, throwing out money, and which is good. Obviously, we always have to advance our skills, but this is the whole smoke and mirrors of social media, which people need to break free from. And I say to a lot of people that I coach, I don't know my competitors. I don't care what they're doing. I don't know beauty business coaches out there, and I don't follow them for that reason, because it can make you feel you get in that comparison mode. So it's nice to follow a few inspiring kind of PMU artists, but don't follow everybody, because it's not good for your algorithms. That's a whole other kind of topic, but it will start making you feel that you're not doing as well as them. And then you'll start procrastinating, you'll start overthinking, you'll start not putting your work out there. And then you're then just on a downward spiral. So smoke and mirrors of Facebook is just horrible.
Yeah, I agree. And do you know what? When I used to teach beginners, that was the first thing I used to tell my beginners. I would say at least 20-30% of my clients do not make Instagram. Whether it's because they've got super sensitive skin and they're all red, or they've got really oily, ruddy skin, and you just don't. I mean, it's an okay finish, but it's not an Instagram finish. But that's it. No one tells you any of this. And then when you've got those pictures, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm not good enough. You lose your confidence. And it's literally, it is a downward spiral. So I think that was a really important point.
Yeah. It's a trap that everyone falls into. And it's the same with anything, not just, you know, permanent makeup. If you're wanting to lose weight or anything, you know, you just look at all these people on social media and you start getting in that comparing mode. And I'm on social media a hell of a lot, but I post, I engage with my following. I do not get stuck in a browse. Try not to. Some days you have them days, you know, we're only human. But you get stuck in that browse and that scrolling, and it's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your well-being. It's not good for your confidence. And what it also does as well, it also takes you away from the path you want to go on, because you start then thinking, oh, maybe I should do this service, maybe I should do this treatment, and then before you know it, you're losing your true passion on where you want to be in the industry, you know. And you think, oh God, okay, that's the best treatment, let me go down that route. And it's like, yeah, but are you passionate about lips? Are you passionate about that look? It's that like
you we all get FOMO, and I am the worst person for it when it comes to like pigments or machines, or like I'll get to a point where I'm like, right, I know this line inside out, I love this machine, love this, I'm sticking with it, and then I'll see a few people using something new and then I think, oh, I need to try it. And then I go around in circles.
Exactly.
Not the FOMO.
Yeah, fear of missing out, definitely.
Yeah. I was just going to say something then, but it's gone out of my head.
Gone. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's not
But yeah, FOMO
like
is a big one. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm actually talking about this in a webinar on Thursday. But like when you were saying about, you know, like you start training in all these different treatments and you lose your passion. Again, it was what I done. I at one point offered like everything: beauty, hair, tanning, lashes, nails, permanent makeup, skin. Because you think you're going to grow your business and you think you're going to get more clients that way. But actually, the minute I decided that no, permanent makeup is my passion, that's what I want to focus on, and I cut out all of those other treatments, I became known for permanent makeup.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. I think what happens is, especially if somebody feels, you'll always have the quieter days, and if you're trying to build up your clientele, you'll think, right, okay, I do permanent makeup. Okay, I need a bit more money. Let's train in plasma. Let's train in this. But what happens? You just move your money pot from one earning to another, but then you're down $3,000 of your training. Yeah. And this is where I say to people, this is where it's time to get a beauty coach like myself, because if you're adding this new service in, think about the time you've missed work of not earning, the cost of that training, the kit to get that new whatever in, you know, the plasma, the skin treatments or whatever, you're probably down about £5,000. Have you then been able to earn an extra $5,000 plus extra earnings from that treatment? Or have you just moved your earning pot from your PMU to your plasma because you've pushed it lows in the beginning, and then now when you look at your accounts, you're still earning the same, but yet you're down $5,000 for the training?
Yeah.
You know,
people don't look at, they don't look at the expenses versus the money in, or where that money in is coming from.
They don't. And what happens also is to think, well, I'm learning a new service, so it's worth $5,000. But then if I then approach someone and say, I can coach you for $5,000 and give you a real bespoke one-to-one coaching, oh, I can't pay for that. Because, you know, but yeah, if you truly stay focused on your passion, like what you did, truly stay focused on what you're good at and make that scalable, make that the workings of that absolutely fantastic. You love what you do. You're never going to not want to go to work. You're never going to think, oh, I'm just doing this treatment because it can get me a little extra pocket money for the weekend. That's when you then will be able to create a scalable business, when you truly focus on what makes you excited.
Yeah, definitely. And also I feel that that's where all your referrals and everything will start coming from, because like for me, I used to do permanent makeup. I didn't really get referrals for permanent makeup because I wasn't just known for that. I was known for lashes and nails and everything else. And the minute I literally just focused on permanent makeup only, all of a sudden now I'm the brag girl. And anyone that thinks permanent makeup, like, go see Layla, go see. It's like you're the top of someone's mind for when you specialize in just one thing.
Yeah. And I think it makes everything when you market yourself. So when you're kind of new to the industry or you're wanting to really niche it down, you end up talking to a person directly with your posts. So if you're putting a post out there saying, oh, so-and-so aesthetic clinic, I can help with pigmentation, I can do eyebrows, skin tightening. If I was to read that post, it's not talking to me. Whereas if you were a specialist in acne skin treatments, let's say, and you put a post specifically about acne, that person reading it is going to be like, yes, she's my girl, you know. And I always use this example of myself. I've had, it's very different, but I've had major hip surgery. Okay. Now I knew I had to have this surgery, and I was, I did initially go private, and then I ended up going back to the NHS. But basically I was Googling hip surgeons. Yeah. You Google hip surgeons, South Yorkshire, found loads. There was one on there that specialized only in my specific surgery. So it wasn't a hip, it wasn't all the surgeries. He might have done it all, but this post and this bio was specific to my surgery. Out of all these 50 people that came up, who did I go with? Him, because he was specific.
But that's what you want, don't you? You want a specialist. So you think, especially with permanent makeups, if someone's going to tattoo your face,
yeah,
you would want someone that specializes in that, not someone that does everything.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's enough people to go around. This is where people think, oh well, I'm making my niche too small. Think about how many people out there have eyebrow tattooing. You can niche it down to alopecia clients. You know, there's a lot of people that have got no hair. You know, you could niche it right down, and then you will be able to become the go-to for no eyebrows. Somebody who's got no eyebrows needs to go to Layla because she specializes in hair strokes for alopecia. You know, people try and get everybody. There's enough people out there. You know, people think the industry is saturated. It's not. It's really, really not. There's enough people out there, but you've got to be more niche with it. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely be focused on where you, and that's the thing, even within permanent makeup you can niche right down, like you said, like alopecia clients, or I know artists that specialize in like dark lip neutralization, and you talk about dark lips and you've got one person in your mind that you'd recommend people to because that is their main kind of speciality.
Exactly, definitely.
So let's talk about beauty coaching, because I feel like there's quite a bit of resistance when I'm talking to artists. I talk to artists every day on the guidance calls, and we talk a lot about coaching, or they feel stuck but they don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, it's time you get a coach. You need a coach. But as you say about that you know, that $5,000 on plasma or on a coach, the mindset is very different with it.
It is, definitely. I think the biggest, the first big hurdle is the people that are in our industry are very strong, independent women. Yeah? Yes. So we don't want to listen. Yeah, I didn't want to listen 10 years ago. So that's the first big hurdle. I think a lot of people think that their craft will get them the success. The craft is 10%. You know, you can be the best technician in the world, but if you don't know how to run a business, you ain't going to get clients. If you don't know how to market yourself, you're not going to get clients. You can't automate your system, use the online tools out there, target your clients, email marketing. You don't know how to do all the tech side, you ain't going to get clients. And I think since COVID especially, I've really noticed that the beauty industry are still years behind, like donkey's years behind. I think everybody has pivoted and evolved and created and embraced the online world a bit. And I'm not saying do treatments online, but I'm meaning there is so many things online that can actually take you hours and hours and hours of time out of your day-to-day runnings of a business. That can be done. Now, you go into the industry because you want to create fantastic eyebrows. You want to treat clients. You have that kind of like the attributes of a nurse, where you want to look after people and make them feel confident. But a lot of these people don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to do all the other parts of it. And that is the part that needs the money spending on, because your craft will take you there if you're going to get seen, if you know how to run your business. The people that I have coached, and to be honest, most people that I coach now, when I speak to them, they first saw me 3 years ago. It took them 3 years. So people that are listening to this podcast, my 3 years time, they'll finally connect with me. Okay. It's took them a long time to realize, okay, my craft is only going to get me so far. But once I start coaching people and putting all these tools in place and actually teach them how to run a business and how to scale a business and how to get seen and how to automate everything, they are 4 or 5 times increasing their salary within 3 or 4 months. And it's not quick wins. This is the thing with, I know we spoke about this before the podcast went live. It's not about cramming your diary for next month. It's looking at what your big goal is. What is the big goal? What do you want to be known for in the industry? Do you want a really big establishment? Do you want staff working for you? Do you want to create online courses and mentorship in your niche? And it's about putting a plan in place, putting a long-term plan in place, a 6 month, a year, a 5 year, and then streamlining your business to work more effectively, and then to be able to scale the business. And I'm in the belief that every single person has got something to share and shouldn't just rely on time for money. Time for money system is broken. If you rely on time for money, you'll be working your ass off till retirement. If you've not sorted out your pension, you're gonna be retiring on nothing, you know? Time for money is a broken system. And if you are very knowledgeable, which people in this industry are, there's always something that you can do to create the next group of entrepreneurs coming through, the next group of beauty specialists that are coming through. So that's what I do. I make sure that I help people streamline the business, the sales, the marketing, the exposure. And then it's about, right, where is your passion? How can you make this more timeless, spaceless, and scalable. So you can go on holiday and earn money. So you can break your leg or break your wrist and still.
Do you know what? I always used to think that when I used to just do treatments only, and I was doing them 12 hours back to back all day, every day, I always used to think if I broke my hand or something went wrong with my wrist or my eyes, or I'm buggered. I don't have a business or an income at all anymore. And to get insurance as an artist for like an injury or something on your wrist was like ridiculous money. I think I was quoted like £300-400 a month just to get covered for my rough monthly salary if I could not work. So it's crazy. So yeah, I think we have to utilize the online world now. You have to, and there is a way for everyone to do something online.
There is, definitely. And the thing is, it's not like the people that I coach don't know how to do it. I love permanent makeup, I'm not going to lie, but my true passion is coaching. Like helping people. You know, my fella laughs at me because I love doing the online stuff, the automation, the connections.
I hate all that.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I love it more because I'm doing it for other people. It's really bizarre. Like there's a lot of flaws and funnel breaks in my system, but when I'm doing it for somebody else, I literally love helping people do that part of the business, because I know that if I rewind 10 years ago, I did not know what the hell I was doing. And I wish there was somebody that says, right, let's do this. Let's make sure you've got all your funnels in place. We've got all these online systems in place. And a lot of the stuff I do is from my mistakes. Do you know what I mean? It is from mistakes. I've learned from mistakes only, which is obviously how we grow. But also, like, what I want to kind of touch on as well with you, and you'll be the same as me, when you go into this industry, you think the big goal is always, I want the big establishment. Town centre, London. I want a big establishment. Now, people that are listening, I'm in my house in a little converted office. Layla is now
in my garage.
In a garage. We are like, we're similar age. We've finally realised that that's not what, you know, it looks nice, but why are you doing it? You know, doing it to look good to Joe Bloggs who don't even know you.
Because, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like I think as an artist, you feel that when you've got that big high street salon and you've got artists working under you and you've got staff and you feel successful, like you feel like then people look up to you and think, oh, look how well she's done.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to get it all the time with people I didn't know. They'd be like, oh my God, like, I see your shop, you're doing so well. And I'm like, oh, yeah, but you don't see all the stress and sleepless nights.
Expenses, yeah.
And all the overheads. And so, yeah, I'd done it. I chased that dream. That was always my dream. But it was actually when I sat down with a business coach, and I've had business coaches for years. I love coaches, and I love the fact that you can sit and bounce ideas around with someone, and it's a great motivation. It's also a great accountability, because I'm really bad with accountability. So for me, it's a good kick up the bum. But I was sitting, I can't remember who it was now. I was sitting down with one of my coaches, and I was in the shop, and I was having staff issues, like I was just so miserable and stressed. And she said to me, why did you want that shop? Like, why did you work so hard for it? And that was it. It was like, I don't know. I just felt like it's what I had to do. And we took it right back. And she was like, what do you actually want from life and your business? And it was, I want the time freedom. I want flexibility. Obviously, I want to be financially secure. And it was like, the shop is not giving me any of that.
No. But doesn't this show just how narrow-minded people are? Like, I had a salon, a beauty salon. I opened it when I was 19. So I've been self-employed since I was 16, never worked for anyone apart from pot washing. So 19, I opened my salon. Then I trained in PMU, and I did have up to 6 or 7 staff. I was doing PMU, then I had all the beauty as well. And it was nice. I loved it. But financially, it was shocking. Yeah. It literally was like my outgoings was so high. And I just thought I could literally hit a couple of salons, still have the name Permanent Makeup of myself, And my fine, I literally, I sacked it all off. I closed up. I was done. But what was really, really funny is, like you said a minute ago, that people were saying, oh, well done, lady, you're doing amazing, you're at a big shop. What happened when I closed my doors? Everyone was like, oh God, I'm so sorry it failed. I'm so
exactly what I've had. My mum phoned me up the other day actually, and she said, oh, like her friend rang her and see that the shop was shut. Is Layla all right? Like, is she struggling? My mum was like, oh no, like she's doing better now than ever. Like she's just changing direction a little bit. But people are like, oh my God, you failed.
That's exactly what, and I said to these people, because I used to still go to the local shops where my salon was, I'm like, no, check my bank balance. I'm like, on the surface, yeah, I've not got my shop front and my staff and everything else, but literally the best thing I did was close them doors, because I worked less hours, control my whole diary, didn't have staff issues, didn't have the stress of staff, and I started earning like 5-10 times more, and I was absolutely buzzing.
And that's the thing, is what I find really annoying with a lot of like marketers and coaches, and it's all about turnover. We'll get you to a 6-figure turnover or a 7-figure turnover, but no one actually talks about profit, because when I was turning over almost double to what I turn over now, I had less money in my bank at the end of the month. Whereas now I don't turn over as much, but I actually profit way more. So financially I am better off, but it's just not the turnover numbers. So but people get so sucked in by turnover figures.
Top line,
and no one actually looks at the profit, which is what's in your pocket at the end of the day.
Exactly. And the thing is, anyone can get a huge turnover by employing loads of staff, get everyone to work. You then get over the VAT threshold. Once you get over the VAT threshold, then you're kind of screwed, because you've got to increase your prices. And like you say, you've got less money in your bank for you and your family. So you've got to kind of, in this industry, you've got to kind of, you've got to ignore everything around you and think, right, what the hell do I want? I want to work when I want, work on what truly inspires me, have more time, financial freedom, less stress. And all of that means don't try and build up and get this huge high street establishment and staff.
Do you know what? I had this little vision when I used to dream of having my big high street shop. I just always had this little vision of me just popping in, like just pop in, say hello to the girls, go to the gym and go shopping. and then reality hits and you actually don't get time to do any of that.
No, it's not like that at all. It's hard having it's staff. I think it's staff. And like, obviously, me and you both, with what we do, because obviously we have got these online platforms and we've got more scalable businesses, we do outsource stuff. But whether it's staff is different. So I'm literally just me. However, I have all these people I outsource. So my business coach, I've got my video editor, I've got my podcast dude, I've got my social media guy. So I do outsource, but they're all self-employed. So they're all going to show up, they're all going to turn up, they're all going to do what I pay them to do, but I don't have to deal with the stress of them being staff. And I think that's the key. And also, like we're talking about how to create like scalable businesses. It's all about learning when to delegate. You can't do everything yourself. You've got to learn.
And I feel like that's what, when I'm talking to artists, like if they are busy and they're so overrun and they can't cope, and I'm like, well, why don't you just get someone else in there? You need help. No, I can't afford help. But you need to look at how long you're spending on that task compared to what it costs you, and what could you be doing in that time. It's like you've just got to change your mindset and the way that you look at it, because delegating is a dream. Why would you not?
I always say to people, just actually do the sums, because people always say, like you say, I can't afford it. If you work out how much time you spend on posting on social media, okay, work out the time you spend, and then work out how much you would earn if you did a client minus your costs of that client. Work that out, divide it by the hours, and you'll probably figure out that you're then paying yourself maybe £7 an hour. Am I worth more than that? When you work out the price of hiring somebody who does that for a living, you don't do social media,
and they're going to do it much quicker than you're going to do it.
Exactly. Like my social media guy, I think I pay like £300. If I worked out how much Like I can do one coaching call for 150 quid. So two coaching calls, £300, I've paid for a month's worth of social media. If I had to do what he does for me, you've got to work out the sums. You can't do everything yourself. And if you do everything yourself, you're never going to have a profitable, scalable business. You
can only do so much, can't you?
Exactly. You can burn out. Yeah, you can burn out and then resent the industry.
And that was what I done. I was that person doing everything. Also, I'm very controlling, so I think that it's just easier for me to do it myself. So I do everything, and then you burn out, you lose passion for things, and you actually do everything, but you don't actually do anything well.
No, definitely.
So I mean, I even warranted paying a cleaner and someone to do my ironing for me, because I think, well, that takes me 4 or 5 hours on a Sunday. What can I earn in 4 or 5 hours versus what I pay a cleaner or someone to do some ironing for me?
Exactly.
So even in personal life, I'm always comparing it to what can I do with that time? And what's better?
But I think the burnout thing and resenting the industry is a big thing that I see. The amount of people that I've seen post-COVID that have give up.
Yes.
And it's such a shame, because I think they have just become they've just been in the rat race for too long. They've been in it too long. And then obviously post-COVID, things have changed. You have to work a little bit harder to get seen. This is because people are not embracing the online world. And they just think, you know what, fuck it, I'll go and be a nurse. Or so it is a shame to see, but I think everybody, with what you learn, you don't just learn your craft. You've got so much knowledge and value in there. And I always think you can serve people differently. You really can.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think it's important to remember that you have to continue investing in yourself and your business, because again, like we've got a lot of members, and they'll cancel their membership, for instance, or we'll be on the phone to them and they're going to give up PMU, and I'll say, why? Well, I've got no clients. Okay, so what are you doing? Nothing. Or I'm posting once a day on social media. Okay. Have you watched the marketing mastery Zooms that you've got with all of these experts teaching you? No, I've not had time. And it's like, I want to shake them. I'm like, you've literally been given all of the tools.
Yeah.
But then I think sometimes, is it because some people are entrepreneurs and some people just naturally don't have that push behind them?
You know what, without sounding really harsh, I think people just make excuses. I think people make excuses. The excuse having no time, I think, is bullshit. Like,
you can always make time.
It's about making time on what's important to you. You know, like I don't watch TV. I can't remember the last time I sat and binge watched anything.
No.
I'd put it on and fall asleep within half an hour. I, the other day, woke up at 4 o'clock because I wanted to get ahead of something to then liaise with my coaching client at 9 a.m. And I thought, you know what? I need to be up at 4. I wasn't getting paid directly to be up at 4, but because my passion was to help scale this woman's business, which then would keep her a client of mine for longer, I woke up at 4. I went to bed earlier. So when people say they don't have time, it's just an excuse. I find it, you know, I'm a single mom. I have 3 businesses. You know what it's like with kids, with hobbies, like your weekends are gone, you know, it's dancing, literally, you know, you're eating, you know, liquid food all day. You don't have time to, you know, to do anything. So I'm a busy woman, and I make time to run 3 businesses. So, but I also think people are scared. And are people scared because they're scared of change? Are they scared that it could actually work out? And this, because I've had this before with myself, like when I've been invited to do a podcast, or I've been invited to do another podcast in a few weeks, I say yes to everything. I say yes to everything. And I do get the fear, but then I also think there's part of me that wants to pull back. And it's like, am I wanting to pull back because it could be that good and my life could change dramatically? Am I ready for that? So I think there's a lot of things, and it's all about mindset. You know, it's all about mindset. And I just think if you do the same as what you've always done, how do you expect to get anything different than you've always got?
Exactly. And again, that's why coaching is, I think every business should have a coach. It's a huge investment for your business, and things will happen from that coaching that you're never going to do on your own.
Yeah.
I've had so many ideas and so many things have been launched through coaching, and someone saying to me on the, you know, because it's someone looking from your business outside in that you don't necessarily think of. Well, why don't you do this? Or have you done this? Or why don't you try this? And it's like, oh, why did I not think of that? That is so worth it.
I always compare it to going to the gym. Okay. So if you want to lose weight, if you've got a plan to lose weight, you could just stay at home, you could eat a bit better, you could then maybe exercise a little bit, and you'll get there eventually. But if you hired a personal trainer,
yeah, you're going to get
you hired a coach who was an expert in what you want to do. You says, right, I want to be this size, I want to have this body mass, blah, 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 blah. You will get there 10 times quicker. We all know that's going to happen. You could do it on your own eventually, but it might take 10 years.
Yeah.
Whereas if you hire someone specific to what you need to do, specific to grow your business, specific to lose weight, you will get there quicker because you've got that accountability. You've got someone outside looking in. You know, they're looking at you as, right, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And they will then put it into fruition, like a personal trainer, you know?
Definitely. So I think it's important to remember that you've got to have the right mindset. I think to be successful, we've discovered that you have to delegate if you ever want to grow and expand. You have to continue investing in yourself and your business. I cannot stress how important this is. Like, I didn't get to where I got to on my own.
No.
I've had loads of help over the years, loads of other people helping me, but no one sees any of that.
They don't. And I think people have got to realize they've got to reduce the noise, And what you will find as well is when you are, you know, I get this even from family, you know, when you've got an idea, when you've got a big goal, a big idea. Like when I told people I'm going to manufacture my own makeup line from scratch, and I still get it now. What the hell have you done that? Why have you done that? You can't do that. You know, you will, when you start to really want to break free from the norm, everyone will tell you it's a bad idea. Everybody, you know, but that makes me want to do it even more.
That you've got to prove everyone wrong. I'm exactly the same as you.
You've got to eliminate the noise. You've got to eliminate the people around you that are saying it's a bad idea. And sometimes they're probably saying it's a bad idea because they're scared in case it's not going to work, how they're going to then deal with that, especially when it's family. But you've also going to have friends around you or people in the industry that are going to say the same. And they'll probably be saying that because they didn't think of that idea first.
Yes.
Yeah. Or probably because you then becoming more successful will then remind them that they should be also doing it and they're not doing it. And you will find that your circle will get smaller. It'll be a dot.
Oh, definitely. I've lost so many friends over the years.
I haven't got a circle no more. It's not even a triangle.
It's a dot.
Dot. But yeah, it is, the entrepreneur world is difficult. And I think people need to realize that the craft is only 10% of what you do. You can be the best technician in the world, but if you don't know how to run a business, you don't know how to create all these tools to assist your business, you're never going to create a scalable business. Never.
And just don't compare yourself to other people. Stay focused and just make sure you stay aligned with your goals, like what you really, really want from life and business, not what you feel you should do or you should have. I think that's really.
And I think people need to bring it back to themselves. So like, if your goal is to have more time with your children and more freedom, then make it about that. Don't make it about, I need 10 clients in a month. No, because that's not got the passion behind it. Whereas it's like, you know what, I want to every 2 years take my children on an amazing holiday. I want Disney. I want this. Right. Okay. So that's going to cost me X amount. My goal now is to take my kids to Disney. So how can I achieve that with my business? Can I create a subscription and target X amount of clients to give me this turnover each month to be able to take my kids away? So don't just make it about the short wins. Make it about, you know, your true why and your true values.
And the long-term goals. And that's what we spoke about earlier, didn't we? Like when we were talking about coaching, how it's not always that quick fix.
No.
It is working on the bigger picture, the long-term goals, and implementing the steps along the way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's been amazing as always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us. So
No, you're
just
very
in case,
welcome.
what I'll do is I'll pop your links below, but if anyone wants to reach out to you direct, what's the best way for them to contact you?
If you just Google SJ Hartshorn, you'll find me. But I do have a podcast, which I think I'm on episode 92 at the moment. Been running 2.5 years. Yeah. Did fall off the wagon a little bit. I was like every 2 weeks, and I'd like a little like we all do. But that is called the Beauty Business Coaching Podcast. Beauty Business Coach. You can find me on there. But Layla will have all the links in here.
I'll
and
pop the links down, yeah.
Yeah, I do have lots of options. I've got free Facebook groups, free YouTube videos. I have monthly subscription coaching programs or one-to-one mentorship. But I'm always there just for even a quick little motivational voice note. You don't have to pay me for any of that. I do all of that anyway. So just connect with me, get in my private Facebook group maybe, and hopefully we can connect and I can shake you and break you, and
that's what I want to do sometimes. I want to pick them up and shake them.
I know. But yeah, it's I'm always there on hand for any little short tips to help scale your business, definitely.
Amazing. SJ, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure it'll be a great listen.
Thank you.
We'll catch up soon.
Fabulous. Thanks.
See you later.
Bye for now.